Hey learners, hope you all are doing well. Welcome back to my channel. Let's continue with our data structures and algorithm using C series. I'm sure you are very excited to learn this all data structures concept. Before starting with today's episode, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do it by clicking on the bell icon so that you can get notifications timely. Now let's start with our first module of data structures and algorithm. But before that, guys, I want you people to write a very simple C program, and that program is for swapping of two integers. You have to accept two integers from the user, and then you have to swap their values in memory. I want you people to write program for this problem statement in 5 different ways. Okay guys, and at the end you people write in the comment box. I will be really happy to see the comments according to you which solution from this 5 solution you think is better from your perspective. Please do write it in the comment box. Okay, watch this video till the end. We will discuss all the 5 different ways of writing program to swap two integers. Okay, so let's begin with the first solution. What I'm going to do in the first solution is I'm going to use one temporary variable. So first I am going to have my own two variables, that is x and y. Okay guys, and I'm going to create another variable, that is z, which is going to act as a temporary variable. First I'll accept two values from the user and store it in x and y. For example, suppose I have entered 10 from the keyboard for x and 20 for y. Okay guys, now first what I'll do is I want to exchange the content of x and y in memory. So suppose if I try to store y in x value will get lost directly. Therefore I have used one temporary variable z. Okay, so first what I'll do is I'll copy that x value in z. Okay, so this value I'm going to store it in z. Next what I'll do is I'll copy value of y in x. Okay, so this value of y will come in x, and now x instead of 10 it's going to become 20. Okay guys, and then finally in y I'm going to store that z which we have already kept it, preserved and kept in z, the value of x, that now I'm going to copy in y, and now in y the value will be 10. And can you see guys, the content of x and y in memory is exchanged. Okay, so let's quickly write program for this. I'm sure you will really enjoy this whole data structure series. Keep watching till the end. Now we will see the first solution which I explained you just now using temporary variable. First we'll include our standard input-output header file in which there are printf, scanf declarations. The declarations of printf and scanf functions are in this stdio. Then our first minimum entry function, that is main, from where the execution of your program will start and will get over. In main I'm going to declare 3 integer variable x, y and z, which are of type integer. Pictorially I'm trying to show 4 bytes allocated for x, 4 byte for y and 4 byte for z. As you haven't initialized it, their values will be uninitialized or unpredicted. It will be some garbage, previous garbage value. We will give one prompt message for entering x and y. For that C has provided a printf function. Then to accept two integers, we are going to use scanf. As I'm going to accept two integers, the format specifier I have given is %d, %d. And I have to store it in X address and Y address, I have to put ampersand. Because in C, whenever you put ampersand before a variable, it will take the address of that variable. So whatever integer you're going to accept from the user, it will get stored at X address, and same way at Y address. For example, suppose you have entered 10 and 20 from the keyboard, that will get stored here. Now before performing the swap, we will display the value of X and Y on the monitor before a swap. The current value of X is 10, that will get substituted in %d. Y value is 20, that will get substituted in %d, and then that value will be displayed on the monitor. X equal to 10, Y equal to 10. Now let's write the procedure for swapping, which I told you, three simple assignment operations. Z equal to X. So we are going to copy value of Z in X. You can see now Z has become 10. Then I'm going to copy X equal to Y, means I'm going to copy Y value in X. So 20 will get copied in X. This will become 20. And then finally in Y, I'm going to copy Z. So what is value of Y? 20. Getting? Value of Z will get copied in Y. So what is value of Z? 10. That will come in Y. So it will become 10. And finally, can you see the value of X and Y is exchanged? And after swapping, also we will display the value of X. And current value of X and Y has become 20, 10. Getting? That's all. Then we are returning 0 back to main caller. There is some function which is calling main, which is actually underscore start. Getting? And underscore start is having an hard-coded address. So we'll not go into that detail. Just remember, main returns 0 back to its caller, and here your program gets over. Getting? So I hope you understood the first solution. In the first solution, we did use of one temporary variable Z, and then we wrote these three simple assignments. First we copied value of X in Z, then Y in X, and then Z in Y. Right? The cyclic way we did the copy. We first copied X in Z, then Y in X, and then Z in Y. Right? Okay, now let's move on with the second solution for performing the same thing, swapping of two integers in the memory, but we will move on to the second solution. Now what I'm going to do in this second solution is, I'm going to use some operator like arithmetic operators, plus and minus. I'm not going to use one third temporary variable, that is Z. Instead, what I'll do is, I'll make use of some arithmetic operators. So again, we'll assume there is X and Y variable with the value 10 and the value of Y is 20. Assume like that. First, what you do is, you add X and Y and store the result again in X only. Okay guys, so X equal to X plus Y. So 10 plus 20 is 30, and that 30 only I'm going to store in X. So now value of X becomes 30. Now what I'm going to write is Y is equal to X minus Y. So what is X minus Y? That is 30 minus 20. That is 10. Okay. So 30 minus 20 is 10, and that I have copied in Y. You got it? So now can you see in Y, the old value of X has come. Old value of X was 10, that has come. And finally, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to write again X minus Y only, and that I'm going to store it in X. So 30 minus 10 is 20, and that I'm going to store in X only. Okay, and can you see guys, now value of X is 20 and value of X is 10, which is actually swapped. The old value of y was 20, that has become value of x, and old value of x was 10, that has become value of y. Right guys? I hope this solution also you got it. It's quite simple. We have not made use of a temporary variable. Instead of that, I am using plus and minus. Let's quickly see the program for this. Okay, the first part is quite same. We have to include stdio.h header file, which contains prototypes of printf and scanf, that is the declaration of printf scanf, which are the basic input output functions in C. Then we start our entry function, that is main, from where the program execution start. Here we have declared in main two integer variables of type integer. The name is x and y. First we'll give a prompt message. Now these are the two variables, 4 bytes memory for x, 4 byte memory for y. Current content is unknown. Then we give a prompt message for entering xy. Then we accept two values, two integers. That's the reason I have given format specifier as %d, %d. It will accept two integers from the keyboard and store it at the address of x and address of y. Example same will take, assuming we have entered for x 10 and for y 20. Okay guys, now we will display that value. Before swapping, what we'll do is we will display these two values, value of x and value of y, which is 10 and 20. Next what we'll do is we will add x and y and store the result of x and y in x only. Can you see this guys? X equal to x plus y. So the new value of x has become 30. Now what I'll do is I'll subtract x and y. But the subtracted result I'll store in y. So 30 minus 20 is 10, but that 10 I'm going to keep it in y. So y equal to x minus y. Getting? So now your y has become 10. Observe the changes here guys. I've shown you all the changes here in a pictorial way. And next what we'll do is we'll subtract x and y, that is 30 minus 10, 20, but store the result in x only. So x equal to x minus y. Getting? So which is 20. Agreed? And after doing this, print value of x and y. Right? So what is the content of x and y now? 20 and 10. Right? Return 0 and your main is over. I hope you have understood this second solution as well. Isn't it guys? By making use of arithmetic operator plus and minus. Okay. Now what we'll do is we'll go for the third solution. Now in the third solution, somewhat it is similar. Okay guys, somewhat similar to solution 2, only instead of using plus and minus, we are going to make use of multiplication and division. Okay, so what we will do is, see here guys, we will make use of multiplication and division. Okay, assuming this is your x variable, this is y variable. Assuming that from the keyboard we have given for x 10 and y 20. Okay guys, now what you do is x is equal to x into y. Instead of addition, we are going to multiply it. So when you multiply 10 with 20, it's going to be 200, and that 200 you are going to store in x. The value of x has become 200. Okay guys, now what you do is you divide x with y. As they both are integer, it's going to be an integer division. In C language, integer divided by integer is integer. It's only going to give you the quotient. So here what you do is you divide x with y, and whatever quotient you get, store it in y. So 200 divided by 20 is going to be 10, and that 10 you are going to store in y. Do you understand guys? So what will come in y now? Getting? 10 is going to come in y, which is the old value of x, which has come in y. And next what you'll do is, you'll do the same operation, that is x divided by y, okay? But the quotient you're going to keep it in x. So 200 by 10 is 20. Isn't it, guys? 200 divided by 10 is going to be 20, but that you'll keep it in x. And what will be the value of x? 20 now, which is old value of y. So can you see the values of x and y are exchanged? Getting? Value of x has become 20 and value of y has become 10, which were the old value of x and y. Getting? Quite simple, isn't it, guys? I'm sure you're understanding this. Many things to learn in the coming series. Okay? Many things you have to learn in data structures, conceptual things, programming things. I'm sure you will enjoy it. Keep watching it till the end and keep sharing it with your friends, whoever is doing computer science. If any of your friends are there, or your younger brother, sister, those who are doing engineering and all, those who are job aspirant, for them, please share this information. It will be really helpful for them. Now let's quickly write the program for this third solution. Okay, as usual, we will include stdio.h, then we will write our main entry point. We will create two variables, x and y. See here, for x 4-byte memory is allocated, for y 4-byte memory allocated. Then we will give a prompt message to enter two numbers. We will accept that two numbers by scanf, two integers, and store it at x address, y address, assuming we are going to enter 10 and 20. Then we will first display the value of x and y before doing the swap. So current value of x and y is 10, 20. Then I told what you'll do, multiply x and y and store the result in x. So 10 into 20 is 200, and that 200 will come in x. Now what you do is, you divide x by y, but the quotient you keep it in y. So 200 by 20 is 10, and keep that 10 in y. So what will be the value of y now? 10. And again what you'll do is, you will divide x by y, but the quotient you will keep it in x. So 200 by 10 is 20, and that 20 you will keep it in x. See here, x is equal to x by y. After that, to see here, x by y, that is 200 by 10, the value will be 20. Can you see the values are exchanged? And after exchange, display x and y. It will be 20, 10, and return 0, and your mean is over. I hope the third solution is also clear to you guys, isn't it? If you have any doubts, please do comment in the comment box, or you can mail me. We have given you the mail address. We will sure help you to clear your doubts. Coming to solution number 4. Okay, now what I am going to do is, in solution number 4, I am going to use some bitwise operators, and one bitwise operator, that is caret, we are going to use. Okay, caret sign. And bitwise caret operator, what is the functionality of it? I'll just tell you, x caret y. Okay, so it will take x bit representation, whatever the x bit representation is, that is 0101 pattern, y 0101 pattern, and then it will do XOR of the corresponding bits. Corresponding bits are XORed. Okay, but the XOR rule is, when both the bits, corresponding bits, are same, the result is 0. And if they are different, the result is 1. Okay guys, so remember that rule you have to remember, that when both the corresponding bits are different, then only the result is 1. But if both the corresponding bits are same, that is 1 1 0 0, then the result is 0. So now in this fourth solution, we are going to make use of bitwise operator. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll simultaneously write the code and I'll show you how the bitwise operation is going to take place. Okay, so as usual we will include stdio.h integer main. Okay, means your entry function you are starting. Then we will declare two variables x and y. Okay guys, then we will give a prompt message. Now this is x and this is y. We will give one prompt message for entering two values. We will accept that two values as an integer, store it in x and y address, assuming that values are 10 and 20. Okay, now before swapping we will display the value of x and y, right? Okay, which is 10 and 20. Now first what I'm going to do is I'm going to do x and y's XOR of x and y, and whatever answer come I'll store it in x only. Okay guys, so XOR of x and y and store the result again in x. See here, x is equal to x XOR y. First I'll show you the bit representation of x, bit representation of y. See here, value of x is how much? 10. So 10 in binary is 1010. I have taken the minimum as 1 byte. Getting? Actually it is 4 byte. As it is integer, it's going to be 4 byte. Upper 3 bytes I have not shown because anyway they are going to be 0 only. Okay guys, so I have taken only 1 byte and this is the binary of 10. I hope you know how to convert a decimal to binary. So this is 8 and this is 2, which is going to be 10. And this is binary of 20. See here, this is 16 and this is 4. So 16 plus 4 is 20. Now this is binary 10, binary 20. You're going to XOR both. And this result you will get, which you will keep it in x only. Okay guys, so 0 XOR 0 is 0. 1 XOR 0 is 1. 0 XOR 1 is 1. 1 XOR 0 is 1. 0 XOR 1 is 1. And remaining all 0. Because I told you when both the corresponding bits are same, the result is 0. And when both the bits are different, the result is 1. Now this is the result of x XOR y, which we have kept in x only. Okay. Now next step what we'll do is, we will again do x XOR y, but store it in y. See here. Again x XOR y, but the x which we are going to take is the new result x and y. Okay, see here. So now after this first step, this is your x 1 1 1 1 0. This is your x. Y is still 1 0 1 0 0. Right guys, because y is not yet changed. So y is still the old one, but x is the result of the previous two. This was your x. Again do XORing of it. See a 0 XOR 0 0, 1 XOR 0 1, 1 XOR 1 is 0, 1 XOR 0 is 1, 1 XOR 1 is 0. Getting? This is how much in decimal? 10. But this answer, after doing XOR of x and y, we are storing it in y guys. See here. After doing x XOR y, we are storing it in y. Okay. This is after this second step. Now third step, again we'll do x XOR y. X XOR y. And whatever result you get, keep it in x. But now your x is going to be this one. This is your x now. And what is your y now? This y. The result y. Okay. So now when we will take this x, the result x of the previous and the result y, and now we will XOR it. You'll see 0 XOR 0 0, 1 XOR 1 0, 1 XOR 0 is 1, 1 XOR 1 is 0, 1 XOR 0 is 1. This result is actually 20, because see, this is 16 plus 4. It is everything 2 power. 2 raised to 0, 2 raised to 1, 2 raised to 2, 2 raised to 3, 2 raised to 4. So 2 raised to 4 is 16 and 2 is 4. So 16 plus 4 is 20. Now whatever result you have got, store it in x. Getting? So can you see now x has become 20 and y has become 10. Right guys? So finally you can see the results are exchanged, and after exchanging we will just display that value. Hope this solution is also clear to you guys. Right? Very simple solution. And we will come to the final fifth solution. Okay, the fifth solution, what we'll do is we'll try to build one expression only, and within that one expression only it should swap the content of x and y. Okay, how it will do is that I'll quickly show you with an example. Okay, see here guys. We will include our file as usual, stdio.h. Then main we will start. As usual, we have to start with main, the entry point. We will declare two variables. We will give a prompt message. These are the two variables. Okay. What we are going to do is same as usual in the previous four solutions. We'll give a prompt message for entering x and y. Accept that value as two integers and store it in x and y. Getting guys? Now before doing swap, and assume that you have entered from the keyboard 10 and 20. So here the content of x and y is 10, 20. Display that two values. Okay, display that two values x and y before swap. Can you see it is 10 and 20. After this, what we will do is we'll build one complex equation, and in that one expression only both the values are going to get swapped. See here guys what we are doing. Can you see this expression? X is equal to bracket x plus y minus bracket y equal to x, the assignment you are doing. Okay, now first what will be the result of this bracket x plus y? It is going to be 30. Do you agree with me? I'm sure you are agreeing with me, and really if you are enjoying, please put in the comment box. Getting? And keep putting it in the comment box what else more you are expecting from me. I'm sure planning to start all those new series for you guys. Okay, so x plus y, that is 10 plus 20 is 30. So bracket result is 30. Next what it is doing, see, y equal to x means it is assigning value of x to y. So value of x is 10, it is assigning it to y. Getting? So in y what will get stored? 10. Okay guys, that will get stored, and the result of that bracket will be the value of y. X is getting stored in y, that is 10 is getting stored in y. Instead of 20 it's going to become 10. But after that the result of that bracket is what you have assigned to y, and what is assigned to y? 10. Now the two brackets are subtracted, that is 30 minus 10, and the result what you get, 20, is stored in x. So what will come in x? 20. Do you agree? Okay, and can you see the content of x and y's exchange? What has become x? 20, and what has become y? 10. Isn't it very simple? In one simple equation we have tried to do the swap. Okay, but guys, though the equation you are seeing it as one single equation, please try to understand it from the complexity perspective. Getting? Is it doing more number of operations? Getting? Can we do it with less operations but increase the variable? From that point of view, you can think and answer it in the comment box that which solution you felt is better. Okay, now what we have to do is, after that, display the result, and which is going to be 2010. Hope you have understood. Getting? Now you got to know 5 different ways by which we did this so simple C program, swapping of two numbers. Right? by 5 different solutions. I am expecting from you in the comment box which solution you felt from your perspective the best one. Think from the complexity point of view, how many operations, calculations, from that point of view, think and tell me which one is the best one. Okay, that's all for today. In the next session, see you with the more concepts of data structures and algorithm. In the next session, we are going to start with the basic definitions like what is data, data object, data type, data structures, all that basic things, classification of data structures and all. So stay tuned. See you in the next video. Thank you.